We all love the sound of money, and a $1,500 sign-on bonus sounds even better. That's right, Belicio Foods of Jackson is offering a $1,500 sign-on bonus to new employees. Receive an extra $100 your first 6 weeks, then $400 after day 90, and $500 after day 180. Don't wait. Apply online at beliciofoods.com/careers today. That's beliciofoods.com/careers. Come work for a company who truly values their employees. Come work for Belicio Foods.
Well, good morning, everyone. Happy Friday, and welcome to another edition of the morning show right here on Main Street TV. And of course, Jennifer here to start off your morning with our good friends from Apple City Wholesalers. And they have something really cool going on, well, all the time, but especially this weekend. So welcome, guys. Thank you for spending your morning with us when you have so many other things to get ready for the weekend.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thanks for letting us be here.
All right. And yeah, of course, it's our pleasure. So first off, would you tell everybody who you are in case they don't know?
My name is David Enyart. I'm one of the owners of Apple City Wholesalers.
My name's Justin Jackson. I'm kind of like, I guess, the voice of the auction, what everybody calls me. So.
The voice of the auction. So in case people don't know, let's talk for a minute, if you don't mind, about Apple City Wholesalers. And y'all are located out... I guess by Tractor Supply would be the here in Jackson, the place that people would know, kind of where Ghouls was for several years.
Old Ghouls building.
Yeah.
As people call it anymore.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. And you guys have gone literally from a business that was housed in about 1,000 square feet to how much?
We're pushing about 100 to 120,000 square feet right now.
What on earth do you put in 120,000 square feet?
Lots of pallets.
Yeah, we have different contracts with Target, Walmart, all of those things. And if it is at their big box stores for $10, it'll be 4 or 5 at our store. So.
Wow, that is amazing! Right here in Jackson, Ohio. Who knew, right?
Jackson, Ohio.
Yeah, it's like the best deal of the century. So let's talk for a minute about how the business got started and how you've grown, and then we'll talk about this weekend a little bit.
Sure. So I'm a registered respiratory therapist as well. My wife's a nurse. So we would do our 312s a week. And then we were like, oh, my gosh, like we need something else to do.
Yeah. We got 4 days here. What are we going to do?
Yeah. So my wife was like, well, let's go down here and see what we can find at, this place down in Ashland, Kentucky. So we were like, okay. So we go down there. We ended up buying a couple pallets, bringing it back up, started doing our little garage sales on the weekends. Then kind of got in trouble because we had so much traffic coming to our house for these garage sales. So I got talked with the local police department.
You were creating a bit of a traffic jam, if
yes,
you will.
we was.
Oh, no.
So, I was like, all right, so maybe it's time to, get a storefront. At that time, in the Evans Center, there was a little place over there that was, available. So I, sweet talked my dad into maybe going in halves with me.
Sure.
So that's what we did. And we opened up, it'd been, this weekend 5 years ago.
Has it been that long already?
It's been 5 years.
Geez, time flies when you're having fun, right?
Yes, it does.
So, Justin, how did you come into the picture?
They had their grand opening the one weekend, and then I was about a week or a week and a half after they opened. They were like, I kept bugging them. I was like, let me work for you.
Did you guys know each other before that?
Maybe a little, but nothing.
Okay.
It was a good, the glancing, you walk by, be like, hey, how you doing? That kind of thing. And then I was working for their family elsewhere, and I was like, oh, let me work for you. So, and then but eventually they caved, and 5 years later, here I am.
The power of persuasion and the voice of the auction.
Yes, it didn't start as the voice of the auction. I was the very quiet one there for a long time.
Yeah.
So
we got you out of your shell quick, huh?
Yes, they definitely pushed me out of my shell. So,
well, very cool. And so tell everyone, since you went from 1,000 square feet, and I can remember that like it was yesterday. I'm sure you guys can too. then you kind of started these like you had a storefront, but you started these like auction things, right? And that happened at the old place.
Yes, that was.
So
that
whose
was,
idea was that, and how
That
did
was my dad's.
Yeah.
So we
Okay.
were getting this inventory in, and some of it we were like, man, what are we going to do with all this? We had multiples of stuff, and so Dad's like, well, let's try to do another avenue of getting rid of some other merchandise.
move the stuff? Yeah.
There's a lot of
And-
big ticket items that we couldn't actually set
Yeah.
up in the old store. Is where it
You know.
started, really.
Because
Oh.
our store was so small that the bigger things you couldn't really tell what they were, in frame with
Like,
the camera.
like you had a big pool or something,
Right.
and yeah.
So he started doing that. It started doing okay, and then we noticed an increase in store sales too, because those people had to come and pick up those items, and then when they picked up the items that they got off of the auction, they would see everything that was in the store.
Sure.
So that was like our light bulb moment. Like, this is a good idea. So that's what we did. So then we transitioned to, selling multiple of the same item, to make basically more people come in and see us and check us out.
Yeah.
And then, here in Jackson, it spread like wildfire, and, it
Small
got
towns will
super
do that.
busy.
Yeah.
And so, I mean,
Like I said, when we get on there now live, we've got get people from overseas that are on there saying, "Hey, how you doing?" Watching from over, watching
Scotland,
in England,
Australia.
You're
Yeah,
entertaining.
so,
That's why.
I guess I don't. I guess it's just me. I don't know. So
So that's cool. So you started doing the auctions, and of course that's obviously raised awareness to your business.
Mhm.
But then when did you make the decision like, oh, well, we need to go from 1,000 to 120,000 square feet? When did you make that call?
So let's see. Goodwill moved their location.
Yes.
So then we took that one store over and that space, and we kind of was there for a little bit. And basically, in the business that I'm in, the more you get in, the more people come.
Sure.
And so, we got in, more truckloads and better stuff and better quality of merchandise. And so then we outgrew that building really quick. And then that's kind of when Sears, I don't know if they went out or if they moved locations as well. We took that building over. Basically, it was doing the same thing and just kind of kept growing. And, we're really focused on the customers, basically, how we treat the customer.
Love
And, we absolutely want that customer to come back over and over and over and over and over. So my dad and I, we've set the staff down, since day one, like, hey, this customer is super important. We want them to feel like they're at home.
Yeah,
They are,
sure.
they're the reason why all of this is the way it is.
Customer service,
So-
number one
yes, it is.
priority.
They treat
Yep.
you like family down there. Is how we want to
So
do it.
we did that, and our customer base began to grow and grow and grow, and then when Ghouls left, we took that over. Also started getting more truckloads and more truckloads. So now it goes from getting 3 to 5 pallets at a time to there's between 24 and 30 on a truckload. So
Wow.
you go from that to 30 pallets, and then multiple truckloads a day, and then now 10 to 15 any given week. So
Well, I'm not going to ask you your secret of where you find all this stuff, because I'm sure that inquiring minds are dying to know, but we won't divulge your secrets. But so what are some of the things that people can find in the store? Because I know it's like
yeah.
a variety of stuff.
How it works is, anything that the big box retailer sells, whether it be, the big red bullseye or
The old Fort Mart, as I call it. So.
down the street.
I call it the big gray building. So.
Big gray building.
Yeah. But although it did go to the big brown building for a
Yeah.
minute, but
It did.
now it's back to gray, I think, or blue or something.
They love painting their buildings.
Yeah, they
so.
paint it all the time.
Yeah.
And then, so anything that those retailers have, we either get it at some point, or it comes in just like it would at their
So,
locations.
there's bedding. You got your home cleaning stuff. Your what else?
Toys,
toys.
just-
Yeah, you
Really?
summer
Okay.
stuff. We get everything. So And we've even had a few kitchen sinks in there every once in a while. So.
Everything, including the kitchen
Including
sink.
the kitchen sink.
Yep.
So is this stuff, I'm just like, thinking what our viewers
Sure.
are thinking. Is this stuff like, oh, it's not in the box though, or is it,
It's
already used or
Case
whatever?
pack, brand new product.
Right. So we want everybody
We
to
don't
understand
do
that.
no returns at all.
There may
Okay.
be box damage, but other than that, I mean, the products is all
Correct.
brand
So you
new,
don't have to worry about coming in and, especially with children, I would not want to buy a toy that I thought
Yeah.
had,
Yep.
was
Yeah. Nope.
something was wrong with it.
That's not the case at all. It's a brand new case pack. It comes in the same way at our stores it would any other big box retailer.
There you go. So that's important for you all
Yep.
to know, for sure. All right. So let's talk about some of the things that people can find maybe this weekend. And you have pallets you haven't even unearthed yet. So you guys might not even know some of the stuff that's going to be out there. But you're having a big party this weekend.
Yeah. So this Saturday, the 4th? Yeah.
Yes.
We're at probably 165 pallets at least right now. That's ready, prepped, and ready to go outside.
And that's not even working today.
Yeah, so here in a little bit, that number will increase. So, we got in, I think, 2 or 3 truckloads earlier in the week that we haven't even really looked at in order to get it out. But there'll be at least 2 or 3 truckloads outside that we haven't even shown. So,
Wow.
it will be our biggest, absolutely the biggest sale that we've ever done.
And we're calling it a sidewalk sale.
Yep.
But there's obviously still stuff inside,
Oh,
like
yeah.
all the normal stuff or all the
inside,
stuff
outside.
I mean, it'll be like
Our store isn't big enough to showcase everything that we have. So we basically, the store side is probably 35 to 40,000 square feet, and then the rest of it is warehouse space.
right.
And we don't have enough room to put everything out like we would want.
So let's tell me some of the things that you have that are like people will be like, oh my, are you kidding? Right here in Jackson, Ohio, like what are some of the really unique and fun things that people could find at your store?
I mean, right now, we've sold thousands of flower pots for $10.
What?
And they are
They're big.
massive
Yep.
flower
Big.
pots.
Are
so
you
that's,
kidding?
Yeah. So this season right now, I mean, compared to the other stores, they're between $15 and $25,
Oh,
and
easy.
they're so much smaller. So,
Yeah.
we were very happy that we were able to showcase like these huge flower pots.
Nice.
They're super nice. Right now, toys are really heavy right now in wholesale liquidation. We've got tons of name brand. I mean, brand new, the Batman movies, the Paw Patrols, Coco Melon. We're very heavy in that stuff right now.
Plus, we got unique items too. We got some
Oh, yeah.
like metal retro style gas pumps with
We
think
got
we
those
just got
in
those
yesterday.
in.
Those
Yep.
are Ohio State.
Ohio State ones of those.
Yeah.
Oh, so all you
We've got-
Ohio State fans.
Yep.
Mhm.
Come on
Great
down.
Father's
So-
Day gift.
Right.
Yep, Father's Day
Oh,
coming up.
man.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, we've got all kinds of stuff. There's motorized TV antennas. We've got all kinds of stuff. I mean, if you're looking for it and we don't have it, I mean, you're
It probably
not
doesn't
looking.
exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you're in it all the way down to your necessity items, your HBA, your deodorants, anything like that, the stuff that you'd use day to day, or the stuff that you just want to get for a gift or whatever. But
I saw you had some really fancy handbags,
yes.
oh yeah, we got a whole aisle of book bags and purses and all that.
like name brand stuff,
Mhm. Yep.
like high end stuff.
Or I believe we may be sold out. It depends on if the truck comes, but Michael Kors, all that stuff. So yeah,
Right here in Jackson, Ohio. Are you
Mhm.
kidding me?
Yep.
we try.
And we, and like I said, it surprised me. I still have people when I go out to eat, like, where Apple City? Where's that? I'm like, right down here, guys. You're missing out on all kinds of deals.
Yeah, right. Like you just drove
Yeah,
by it like
yeah.
20 times this week.
Mm-hmm.
And then, for Saturday, we have never been able to do, 20% off of your total bill. So you're getting at least 40 to 60% off straight from every day. And
Plus-
then another
Wait.
20.
Another 20 on top of
Saturday.
Right on top of that. Yep,
yes.
on Saturday, all day.
what?
Yeah.
You guys, have
We
you
may
bumped
have
your
messed
heads?
up on that.
I was
I don't
gonna
know, but
say,
that's what we're going to do. So
might need to rethink
We're
that a little
definitely
bit.
passing the deal Saturday. So, I mean, if you miss out Saturday, then you may have fell and bumped your head.
I may have, but we were just so thankful how the community has supported us for 5 years.
Sure.
So we wanted to give back as much as we could. And I think that 20% is it's right there. I mean, it is. So you're looking at at least 60 to 80% off of anything in the store from what it retails for. So if it's $100 item, you're probably going to get it for like $20 on Saturday. So
Gosh. I don't even know. The police are going to hate you. They're going to have to be out directing traffic of people coming into your store tomorrow.
They've done that with a few of our smaller sales. So Saturday's going to be probably absolutely nuts.
Yeah,
we apologize in advance. So
we had the state troopers and stuff come down, and they've gotten water and everything because up at the red light, it's there's been few accidents and stuff trying to get into the store, but
listen, the store will still be there. You do not have to run over each other to get in there.
We do our best.
The bills will be there. They'll be there.
That's right. So tell us the hours. You'll be open today too, right?
Oh yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
So it's not like this. You're just opening on Saturday.
Right.
So your normal hours
we're open, today. Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Okay.
But for Saturday, we're going to open at 10, and it'll go through until about 4 or 5 because it takes so long to, put everything back away and all that. And then also we have some big giveaways for Saturday.
Ooh, do tell.
We have a pool. It's over $1,000. We're going to give it away.
What?
It's a Coleman 18-foot pool.
Yep.
How do you get that?
Show up and put your name down that you were at our store Saturday, and you'll be included in the drawing.
I want a pool.
Everybody wants one right now. It's starting to get hot.
Yes.
Let's see. We're going to do at least 5 $50 in-store credits. And I'm sure there'll be more once people show up and, we feel the love of the community, then we just start.
Yeah, we have that. I call it squirrel disease. We just walk by. Oh, let's get rid of that.
Let's give this one away today. I'm feeling like that.
It's my wife and I and my mom and dad, we always sit down and just talk about, where we started and where we are and how the community has supported us. And we, that is really big to us because we just basically, was like, hey, let's try it and see how it goes, and we did that. And, there was a lot of money involved, and it just was something that it's worked out. And so now we're focused on, okay, let's get the best price that we absolutely can to the people of Jackson, and let's see what we can bring.
Wow.
Because there's big plans as well that we always have, but we just got to get there.
Baby steps.
Yep. So there's there's a lot more stuff.
You didn't really take a baby step. You took a giant, you took a leap into your new place. But.
There's a few other maybe a few other stores and stuff that we're thinking on. But once we get this one lined out and everything else, there's a lot of stuff that I want to do for Jackson.
Lots of room to grow.
Yeah.
And we want to thank you because number one, for being part here of Total Media, but also just investing in the community. And it takes a lot of guts and probably some stupidity and money and time and sleepless nights and all of this stuff to open a business. And
it absolutely does.
And a lot of people don't understand that. So I do. So thank you for taking a chance on our area and all of the and providing for the folks of our area because a lot of people wouldn't have done that. So yeah, you guys are awesome.
Yeah, we came here from Indiana, the start of my freshman year in high school. So I love this town. I love the people. It's super nice. I love the the country style living and all that. So I'm here. I like it. So I was like, let's besides venturing out and doing little stores, I call them sister stores to Apple City. I was like, let's just make one huge store and make everybody come to Jackson and see how cool Jackson is. So.
Love that. And, people don't understand too, like how good that is for economic development because, people are coming to town to see you. And I will be honest, like Ghouls, for example, when they were there, they're still at their old location, but, there were so many people that they would send up to the restaurant to eat or whatever. And I'm like, and you guys do the same thing. And it's like, if people are coming to our area to come to your store, then they're going to spend money on gas, which goes to our county, and the gas stations. And, they're going to eat and they're going to probably do some other things while they're here. So, it all goes full circle.
Yep. Yeah,
it's really exciting.
We always do, Rowdy's, 6 Cents, Archinetti's, the people that's kind of like in our boat, trying to help the community and everything like that too.
Right, thank you. Yeah.
Shop local.
We all
eat
got to work
local.
together, don't we?
Exactly. Shop local, eat local. That's why we always say on our page. So
That's right. Okay, speaking of the page, how do people find you on social media, or do you have a website, or what's the best way for people to find you?
Facebook.
Facebook is our main revenue.
And that's where you can find those fun auctions
yes,
too.
yes, that's where
If
you'll
nothing
hear me,
else,
yes.
they are so entertaining. Like
I try to make them
That's
fun,
all him.
so
That's all him.
So,
That's
even
Monday
if you
through
don't buy
Friday.
anything, just watch it.
if
Monday
I
through
don't make
Friday,
you
what is
laugh,
it?
then I'm not doing my job.
5 to
right,
8
so.
p.m. I think.
Yep, start at 5. We go till 8. But all you gotta do is go to Facebook and search Apple City Wholesalers. Just like and follow the page. And anytime we go live on there, we do daily drawings as well. Sometimes we got our take a chance. We call them take a chances. You can call in. There's different items on that as well. So call in, take chances on those. That's where we do our videos for those. Facebook, the auction. So.
Love it. It's just so much fun.
We
And you
try,
guys
yeah.
have fun.
We do.
Yes.
And that's a big thing.
Yep.
Business is hard enough. So just have fun with it if you
That's
can.
what I tell them when you get on the auction. If I'm not, if you're not laughing, you're not buying, then I'm not doing my job. So that's what I like to do. Have a good time on there.
Well, very good. And I hear that you are having some free food as well, because you can't pass up free food.
Yeah, so
This
we're also
Saturday.
going to be doing free hot dogs, free hamburgers, chips, water. Everything will be, just come in. If you just want to come in and get something to eat, that's fine too. Just come on down and say hello. And
But as soon as you stop and start seeing the deals, you're going to buy something.
yeah,
so.
I don't think somebody's
not
going to
kidding.
come down there and just eat without,
No,
looking around.
I mean you're
it's
going to
pretty
get
crazy.
sucked in like the rest of us. So let me tell you. Also, you're going to have a remote. So
Yep.
On the Go Radio will be there tomorrow.
Yep.
And what are the times of that?
11
And they'll be
to
doing
1.
some fun stuff. 11 to 1.
Yeah, 11 to 1.
James, are they doing some fun stuff? I'm sure they'll have some giveaways and things as well.
I'm not sure what giveaways they have. They might have WWE SmackDown tickets.
I was
still
going to say
to
they've
give
had
away.
some wrestling tickets lately.
I'm not sure. I've not heard otherwise, but I'd say there's a pretty good chance that they still have SmackDown tickets to give away.
Yeah.
Love me some wrestling.
That's right. I mean, you might be able to find a wrestling ring at the Apple City Wholesalers. You never know.
We have them. They're on the
See?
back gondola. Of course.
Yep. The little toy ones. Yep.
There you go. All right. Well, guys, what are some of the other things that you would like our viewers to know? Tomorrow, huge sale at Apple City Wholesalers. I mean, every day is a huge sale at Apple City Wholesalers, but tomorrow is an additional 20% off of everything. And you guys have tons and tons of pallets that you haven't even taken off the trucks yet.
Yeah, we got about 165, 70-ish right now ready to go.
Yep.
We still got to work today, so there may be another 20, 30 before.
We're going to try to go
before-
over that 200 mark. So
Love
Yes,
it.
because
there's
we've
gonna
never
be
had that many.
Our biggest sidewalk sale we've ever had. If you've been to the ones before, this one here is going to dwarf, make the other ones look like.
Yeah,
Tiny.
those are just a big old
Yeah.
mess compared to this one.
Yeah, so-
And let's just be honest, you guys couldn't have drawn a better weather forecast.
Yeah,
than,
we was hoping it wasn't going to be like 95.
No, it's
and
going to be
rain,
what,
but
like 75 and sunny?
it's going to be perfect. Perfect.
Can't beat that. Well, I'll tell you what, you all are amazing. Thank you so much for stopping by today, and we appreciate it. Is there anything else you'd like to tell our viewers before we let you go back to work?
I don't think so. I'm just looking forward to seeing everybody.
Excited to see everybody out and about.
Yeah, I mean tomorrow's focused on customer appreciation, so that's what
That's
we're
right.
that's what we're geared.
5
towards.
years already.
I know.
Believe it.
Feels like doesn't feel like that.
Sometimes it feels longer, and
Yeah.
sometimes it
Yeah,
feels a lot less. I
depends
get
on
it.
the day of the week. I guess.
It does. It does. All right. Well, thanks, guys. And of course, Dave and Justin from Apple City Wholesalers. We want to thank them for stopping by this morning. And we have a lot more on the show today. But so we have the video from Jeremiah?
Yeah. Up next, we've got Jeremiah Shaver with a report on kind of an interesting situation. Wellston
Yeah,
Street is closed because of how bad of shape one of the buildings is.
A building
in.
collapse. So,
Well,
yeah.
it hasn't
back
collapsed.
wall
but
collapse.
the part of it collapsed.
Yeah, so this is important for you all to see. We want to thank Jeremiah for going out and doing the video because, as James said, some of the road is closed there in Wellston, and so not a good situation there. So here you go.
A section of 2nd Street here in the city of Wellston between Pennsylvania Avenue and Ohio Avenue is closed until further notice because a building here behind me is not structurally sound.
The building in question is located between 116 East 2nd Street and 110 East 2nd Street, is pictured here. Looking at the building, it may look structurally sound on the front, but a quick trip around to the back tells a different story. Wellston Police Chief John Robinson told the Telegram that on Thursday, June 2nd, the Wellston Police Department received a call just before 3 p.m. from two different passerbys. One called into the police department to let them know that the back of the structure had collapsed, while the other had reported they were out front of the structure and had noticed that it looked like the structure was swaying in the wind. Wellston Mayor Charlie Hudson spoke about the building and the street being closed during the Thursday, June 2nd meeting of Wellston City Council. Here's what he had to say about the structure.
We've had another issue. We had an issue downtown today. The former King's Pool Hall between Jenkins Funeral Home and Leonard Holmes Apple's office, the back wall collapsed. It was on the list of the three commercial buildings that the land bank was going to mitigate with grant funding from the state of Ohio. Unfortunately, if you raise a building before the grant money comes, there's a chance that we will not be reimbursed for it, so we may have to eat the cost on that particular building. The other two are the Coops Bar and the movie theater. We have 2nd Street closed from Ohio Avenue to Pennsylvania just to make sure that the front doesn't fall out in the middle of the street. The back collapsed, the second floor fell into the first, and this was coming for a long time. And I guess the only thing you can say to that is a sort of, I just continue to repeat it, is that this is a result of people letting buildings go for decades and no action being taken to cause landlords to take care of their buildings. And this is just another example. We probably have two that come to mind right now in our downtown area that if we don't figure out how to push landlords to do something with, they're going to lose the roof. And once you lose the roof, within a decade, it's going to go. And that would be Pick Wall's whole building and the building directly across from the movie theater. They're getting in pretty bad shape. So we're going to try to work with our code enforcement and see what we can do to either get those folks to fix their buildings or sell them to people that will.
Well, hey everyone, and we are here with our good friend Ryan Smith, and Ryan is here to talk some University of Rio Grande stuff. So welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
Yes, we always love having Ryan here because, well, you've worn a few hats over the years and being on this program. But first off, I guess, would you tell everybody a little bit about yourself and your background and all of that in case they don't happen to know you, which I doubt, but just in case.
I don't know how far back you want me to go.
Hey, you just go.
I spent the first 23 years of my working life as a financial advisor. And then the last 8 of that, I did that along with being a legislator in Columbus.
Oh, just state representative.
Well, they told me it was a part-time job, but they lied to you to get you to do it. Yeah, and then had the good fortune to be the 103rd Speaker of the House and represent this area with Jackson, Gaia, and most of Benton and most of Lawrence County. So then I left the legislature, being term limited, left a little bit early to become the president of the University of Rio Grande Community College. Because it was in my hometown, it was kind of,
that's right.
Yeah, it was struggling, and I knew the impact it made not only economically in the region, but also obviously for all the students that we were educating. So, been thrilled to be there now for I guess 2.5 years, and it's been an amazing run, and we're just having a lot of fun.
Yeah, and they were like, hey, this is going to be a sick and twisted twist to Ryan Smith's life. We're going to bring him into Rio, and then we're going to have a global pandemic. It's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, it's been 5 months.
So you kind of got literally thrown in to running a university at the beginning of a global pandemic.
Yeah, and
Welcome.
yeah, exactly. You know, the good news about that is I was a new president, new to higher ed, so I felt like I had to catch up a lot. But when
Sure.
the pandemic hit, nobody had a playbook for that.
No.
So it didn't matter if you had 30 years of experience in higher
Yeah.
ed. It was just, what are you going to make of it?
Can't really mess it up because, like no one knows what
Right.
to do. But no, and I know that was a challenge for you, and especially being, a new administrator and all of that. But thank you for your service that of course in the legislature and all that too. And, I think that Ryan was probably one of the first to get our area recognized and realize that Columbus, Ohio is not Southern Ohio. Like Southern Ohio is south of 70. And I appreciate the fact that you went up there and made a name for us down here. So thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
Started to get some recognition down here.
Yeah, I was fortunate, obviously, to follow people like John Kerry and Clyde Evans.
Sure.
And everybody, when I went to Columbus, said, "What do they feed you guys down there? You're all like 6'4".
It's true. I didn't even think about that.
But yeah, I think we made our presence known, and I know people in our area tend to think that we don't get the recognition we deserve in Columbus, but I think we've changed that over time, and hopefully that'll continue to be that way.
Yeah, and I think that we have a lot of economic development folks and a lot of people representing our area now in such a fantastic manner.
I agree.
Yep, very good. All right, so at the University of Rio Grande and Rio Grande Community College, as you are the president, and we do appreciate you spending your morning with us, you all have made a major announcement, and it has to do kind of in conjunction with some fun things that happened with Bob Evans' farm and some land that was donated. Actually, the land has come full circle, if I understand that.
It has. So if you go back in time in 1938, Rio Grande College at the time bought 300 acres from Harry Wood. And they started an agriculture program in the 40s. And then over time, that kind of, I don't know if it fizzled out or just went away, but they sold maybe the whole 300 acres to Bob Evans. And he took the family and the homestead and, of course, had the farm. And everybody's familiar with the farm festival. So they kind of know how the land lays. Everything on the western side of 35, old 35, was given to the university, 270 acres in 2017. So that came back from the Bob Evans Corporation.
Is that wild? It just literally went full circle.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
So did you get the windmill?
We did. We got everything except kind of the canoe livery down on the creek.
Gotcha.
That side of it was not included, but so we have 270 acres. We have about 150, give or take, few acres of grazable pasture land, and the rest is the wooded hillside that actually has 15 miles of bike paths, and you can hike and bike on them.
I was telling James that I actually, as a little girl, we would take our horses there and ride on the trails.
Yep.
So that was really cool.
Same trails. We don't have horses on them anymore just because we have so many people hiking them and biking on them. But it's a hidden treasure. I mean, 15 miles weaving around all in the hillside there. So we're really proud of that. We have the shelter house back there as well. So we still have that we entertain people with occasionally. And then, like I said, the pasture land. So the board, the university board and the community college board would consistently ask me for updates on what's the latest with the farm. And they all wanted agriculture to come for a variety of reasons. I mean, everybody's kind of been touched by that along the way. So that's when we started conversations with Ohio State being the largest land-grant university in the state.
Correct.
And kind of being all things to all people in the agriculture space. And Dean Cathan Kress has been my primary contact, but even this morning, I spent some time with Graham Cochran, who's from here in Jackson.
I know. See, representing again.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah. I mean, the connections are really neat. So, so we're working with Ohio State and we announced the agriculture is coming back to Rio Grande with an emphasis on beef science, meat science, and animal welfare.
Love that.
Yeah.
How appropriate for our area, right? And, we were talking about, and I think it might have been in one of the speeches or the videos that James did when he went down, when you all made your announcement, but a lot of kids from our area now have the opportunity to go to school, still go home, work their farm because that's what they're doing, but get that degree. So they're not having to go to Ohio State, like Columbus or somewhere like that. They can stay and continue on doing what they're doing, but then get that college degree as well. I think that's so fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, for too long, we've had this void of having this close to home. And I say
Yes.
close to home because Ohio State's, an hour and a half away from here, 2 hours away from Galley County. You've got Moorhead
Right.
down in Kentucky, but that's over 2 hours away. Wilmington, which is a private college, and it is a few hours away.
Yep.
And then ATI, where a lot of people end up going for agriculture in Ohio State, which is up in Worcester.
Which is really far away.
Yeah, that might as well be on another planet.
Yeah,
right?
right.
I mean, that's practically 4 hours. So just what you said, right? They love agriculture. Maybe they love cattle, and they have it on the family farm. They don't really want to go away from that. This allows them to study that and stay at home or nearby home, and it just works really well.
It works so well. And, what a beautiful, beautiful facility and acreages of land right there in Rio. I mean, my goodness, we've all been down to the Bob Evans farm, and we've all been to the farm festival and seen all of that. And man, what a blessing to have that right here in our backyard.
It really is. To have that setting, it's the iconic farm, to have, education going on. And this is something Bob Evans had talked a lot about over the years. Ed Valburn was one of his good friends and a friend of mine. And they pushed this idea probably 25 or 30 years ago, and it just never really took hold at the time. So, with the confluence of getting the farm and talking to Ohio State and then coming in and partnering with us, it made it all possible, and possible in a faster way than we could have otherwise started it on our own.
Love this. It's so amazing. All right, so let's talk about the agriculture program. Number one, when do you think it will begin?
We'll actually have a class offered this fall.
Really?
Mhm.
Awesome.
So the way it's going to work, and the way we were able to start it as soon as we did, because higher ed moves really slow. So I thought government moves slow, and then I got into higher ed, and it's like glacial. So we could have waited till next year, built this thing out more robust, but I felt like it was better to get momentum and get this out here and get started. So Ohio State's going to offer a introductory to meat science course, I believe is what it's called, in the fall online. So
okay.
it'll be a virtual course for our students in fall semester, and then we'll actually have a lab in the spring semester. And because
Makes sense.
we're not to the point we're building out the farm with a barn and the infrastructure just yet, we're going to utilize the Ohio State Jackson Research Station here off Standpipe
Perfect.
Road. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it incorporates that as well.
It's already there and up and working.
Well, I was there this morning, and we toured it, and they had cattle, and yeah, it's easy to make work.
Lambs, and it's just they have stuff everywhere. It's so cute.
So, and the beauty of it is we teach the gen eds, which we were already doing at Rio Grande, and then Ohio State will come in with more of the specialized courses where
Okay.
they have the expertise.
Yeah.
And what I'd really like, what we will offer is an applied technical associate's degree with an emphasis kind of on the animal science, meat science piece.
Sure.
It will allow our students who want to pursue going on, whether that be at Ohio State, Wilmington, or anywhere else, for a 4-year degree. It will give them a platform to be able to do that. And it just offers them the ability to stay close to home, see if it's something they like, and then earn an associate's degree and get the education along the way. At Rio Grande, we won't ever be all things to all people. I mean, the agriculture industry is so vast in what you can do.
Yeah.
But Ohio State's very vast themselves, so they offer everything basically. So it's really a nice base platform to work from, and then allow the student to kind of figure out where their desire is.
Yeah, so they can take that then associate's degree and then move on to wherever else they would like to go, or just use that degree in whatever career path they choose. That's fantastic.
Exactly. They'll have a degree. Some will end at that point, depending on what they want to do. Some will go on. I think there's a lot of flexibility in it.
Yeah. And again, we are so blessed with this beautiful land down here, and our, one of our best assets obviously is our geography, and we're able to utilize that, and the university is able to utilize that, so that's so good.
Yeah, and we feel like if you think about our county fairs, right? I mean, think about our 4-H programs, think about our FFA programs in the high schools. They're all very robust. So
Huge.
a great feeder program into that. One of the things we've talked about is livestock judging, and this is an interesting fun fact that I've learned as a non-farm background. Livestock judging is really viewed to be laterally like beneficial in a lot of companies, because if you think about it, they're judging right there in real time. They have to articulate what they're doing and make quick decisions.
Yes.
And that's what
very much
companies
so.
are looking for. A lot of ag companies that are dealing with a lot of different scenarios, they feel like that's a great foundation in order to find people that can be successful at what they do.
And it's hard. People don't realize. Plus, you're just building those social skills and all of this stuff that goes with it as well. So it's tough to get out there and have to judge and be judged by people.
Yeah.
Be judged how you're judging.
I mean, imagine standing in front of a big group of people and they're showing hogs, and you're sitting here, articulating on a microphone, walking around, looking and saying, I like this one because of this, and I like what she's been able to do with this.
It is subjective to some degree, so that makes it tough too.
It does, and you're going to get criticized, right? But
100%.
What do you do in life that you don't get criticized for?
Anymore? Nothing.
So, I mean, I see, 3 people have told me about this and how important it is for a lot of companies, and it just makes so much sense, and you don't think about it that way, but it fits so naturally into, again, our area, what we do every summer at the county fairs, what it teaches our young kids about, raising livestock and different things. I just think everything's coming together really well.
It's funny that you mentioned the county fairs, because I can remember in showing horses, I can remember our county fairs and all of the livestock projects and whatever, but you go to some of the bigger cities and go to their county fairs and they're more like a carnival. There's not as, I just assumed everybody had, 4-H clubs and, tons of animals and whatever. But, down here, that's just one of the things that we're known for. And what a good job that we do down here with that. So that's something that I think we take for granted a lot.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. You don't know what you don't know, right? You get into these areas and you realize.
You go to Franklin County Fair and there's not like a bazillion animals around. Like what?
Yeah, this is our way of life.
Yeah.
And people love it. And I just think it teaches young people so many great things along the way.
Absolutely. So what are some of the, I don't know if you've discussed this with the folks from, Ohio State or whatever, but what are some of the career paths that folks, that would get this associate's degree? What could they go on to do with that degree?
Well, I think there's a lot of things, but one of the main focuses, frankly, is trying to grow our herd of cattle, for instance, in this area. Because it's a very profitable thing for us to do. We had a choice in agriculture, like 100 choices of what direction do we want to go? What do we want to offer? This is what we kept coming back to, was beef science, meat science kind of thing. So a lot of people can go out, and this will teach them the fundamentals on raising a herd, and even from insemination to calving to all the way through. So, it makes them profitable from that standpoint and do it efficiently and effectively. That may not be their primary source of income. Maybe it's their side job, if you will.
Sure.
But I think that that space, I mean, you've got slaughter facilities, and that's where the meat science side comes in. There's a lot of large slaughter facilities. There's not a lot of smaller ones that kind of cater to that. And people want to know where their food's coming from anymore.
Sure.
Farm to table kind of thing.
It is. It's a big deal. And, knowing if things are what they're eating, and it's very important anymore that, you shouldn't be able to, but raise a chicken shouldn't be, go from birth to 60 pounds in 2 months. Like there's something going on there that's probably not necessarily natural.
Right.
So yeah, no, it is wonderful to know where your meat comes from and know where your food comes from.
Sure. And then you have, if you think about our livestock and really our agriculture industry, I mean, there's so many like Archer Daniels, Midland kind of companies out here, feed companies. They
Sure.
all need people that understand the biology of the grain and why you feed them certain things. And all those jobs that you don't really think of, that don't jump out because there's not a plant down here that employs 200 people.
Correct.
There's a whole army of people out here doing it every day, and I think that's the kind of thing also that this prepares them for.
You know, you're right, and the chemistry and the biology and all of that of just feed is insane. And I know had a friend that had a all horse 4-H club one year, and one of the 4-Hers decided to take a steer as well. So they let the steer into the all horse 4-H club, and so she said, I didn't really know what I was doing to help this girl with the steer, but I just fed it like I feed the horses because, you know, horses are very finicky and picky, and you know each one's different, and you have to assess them and whatever. And it ended up getting grand champion because, which I think didn't set very well with some of the other people, but. But she's like, I just fed it like I look at the horses and I assess them, and each one has its own blend of feed and whatever. So that's a whole other science and art, is mixing feed and all that. So that would be something certainly that the degree could get you to do as well.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. And there's so many other things in business agriculture classes, which we'll add in the future,
Yes.
specific to that area.
Sure.
And those kind of things help. There's data analytics, particularly in the agriculture industry, because there are so many companies collecting all this data, but they don't have the scientists to be able to say, okay, what does all this mean?
Yes.
Translate it for me. But they're collecting it all. So
they have it. They just don't know what to do with it.
And then you think, even the technology in tractors and things like that anymore.
Oh, yeah.
And the GPS that they're programming so they can maximize their return on the acreage they have. I mean, farming's changed so much, and sometimes we don't realize it.
Correct.
But it has advanced so much and probably will continue to do so. So that's, again, another area they can kind of specialize in.
Absolutely. So that is the degree, and I think that has to be so exciting for you to literally implement an entirely new program and part of the university.
It is really exciting. So when I was in the legislature, we talked about agriculture a lot because we always said, and it is, Ohio's #1 economy. But
for sure,
to help that space is very hard because it's so big, so broad, and so vast. I mean, we did some CAUV legislation, things like that certainly helped the farmers. But beyond that, we talked about it a lot. We just couldn't help them. And what I found is, like, when we started the agriculture and we had the event last week, we had so many people come out and in a just genuine love of agriculture and farming.
I couldn't believe how many people were there.
It was really great.
I mean, like, insane amount of people.
And from all walks of life. Mm-hmm. And I just think everybody has been so positive about this and the opportunities it brings. What I tell people is, like I said in the beginning, we push to get this ready for fall. It's we're sticking our toe in the water.
Sure.
So we're starting with this class in the fall, another one lab in the spring that'll be experiential learning and hands-on, and then we'll build it out from there. We're in discussions right now what the second and third years are going to look like and things like that. So where it goes is really going to be determined by what our demographic says they want to study. Because we're kind of a blank slate, right? I mean, we can kind of morph into where they want to go and where the demand is.
Very good. This is so fun.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah, and all because the land came full circle.
Yeah, exactly.
Very cool. Well, while you're here, and we're so excited about this program, but Rio is growing and growing. And what are some of the other things, exciting things that you have going on down in that direction?
Well, we're starting to really dive into the computer science side of things, and I think you'll see some news on that in the future because we're just really beefing that up.
Yeah.
Because what people have learned, especially through the pandemic, is you can live in Southeastern Ohio as long as you have broadband connection, and you can work for Apple or Google or any of these large tech companies,
For
or
sure.
JP Morgan Chase or whoever it might be. And they're all wanting employees, and I think now that we can connect people, I think it's super exciting because always before you would think I should go to school to work for X, Y, and Z company that's right down the road. Right? You think in proximity to where you are.
That 100%. And that's the one thing we've definitely learned
Yeah.
through this COVID thing.
And
you
now-
can work from home.
Exactly.
Or wherever you are.
And I think what we're seeing
Barbados, I mean, wherever. Think big.
We're seeing if you get Total Media set up down there, put me on the show.
Okay, you're there. You'll be the first guest.
But I think it kind of flattened the world, right?
Break out the green screen.
Oh, we could make it seem like we're there. It's not quite the same, but anyway.
But the world's flat. You can work from anywhere for anybody if you have the right connection. That's becoming more and more prevalent now that we're seeing some advances in that space. And certainly at the university, we have plenty of broadband. But I think what we're seeing is this migration of people out of the urban areas and into the rural areas. One, because it's a slower pace of life. Two, it's the cost of living is much more affordable.
Ask local realtors. They'll tell you. I mean, people were calling and just buying houses sight unseen and whatever because they're like, hey, we want out of this big city and we can work from home. So why not?
Absolutely. So it's kind of a resurgence. And, being able to connect people, I think, is the greatest, in my opinion, one of the greatest opportunities we've had in the rural areas in my lifetime because now you don't have to move, right?
Correct.
For too long, the best and the brightest would move away.
Well, you just had to go to the big city. That's where you went.
They went to the 3 C's predominantly,
Yep.
right? Cincinnati, Columbus, and Cleveland. And now we have a chance to keep them at home and grow our area. And I think we have more opportunity in Southeast Ohio right now than we've had probably in my entire lifetime. And it's up to us to kind of harness that and position properly. And from a university and a community college standpoint, we need to position to where we're educating the workforce so that we can attract more companies down here.
Love that.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. And there's just, Rio has just so much going on down there. And I think, as president, you've done so much and we appreciate that as well. And it means a lot to you, I know, because it's kind of your hometown area.
It is. And honestly, the best thing for me is to see the people. And I'm blessed with a great team. So I throw out a lot of ideas and sometimes they work and sometimes they don't, but my team implements them and they deserve a lot of credit. But to see it through the people's eyes that have been at Rio and been through the ups and downs and to see how we're thriving right now, it's really rewarding.
That's exactly right. And some new, I know, some build up down there as well, maybe some new construction and things, but we won't get into all that right now unless you want to.
Well, I'll tell you this, we're making plans for a new dorm. We've actually run out of residential capacity probably in the next year or so.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good and bad.
It is. I mean, but with austerity, there's challenges, and with growth, there's challenges. I'd much rather be on the growth end.
Absolutely.
So we're looking at about a 175 bed dorm, about a $20 million project that we hope to, get started here before long because it's the fall of 2024 that we're looking at. We'd like to expand our fitness facility. It hasn't been expanded. We've expanded a lot of sports. We need to expand our training room to be able to accommodate our student athletes. So, all of those things, I think, make Rio more appealing from a student standpoint. Oftentimes they talk about, apartment style dorms and fitness facilities being on the top of their list. So we want to stay cutting edge and be competitive. And obviously looking to upgrade our offerings any chance we get from the program standpoint.
Yeah.
So we're always exploring new areas there. I think people will be surprised at all the things we can offer in the next 4 or 5 years.
And that's so true. And added a rugby team.
That's right.
James actually went down and filmed a little bit of one of the games because we didn't really know a lot about it. So that's fun.
So when I brought up rugby to the team, they all looked at me like I had 2 or 3 heads and said, well, who would we play? But honestly, they have brought so much excitement and camaraderie.
So fun.
Yeah.
Just hilarious and fun.
Well, we don't have football, right? So rugby's kind of our football. And for a lot of students in our area, I think what they're going to find is they will like rugby as much as they like football if they give it a chance, because we've seen a lot of those student athletes kind of go that direction. But that sport has a more of a collegial camaraderie than any sport I've ever been around.
Yeah.
And they're very supportive. And you'll go to the basketball games and the rugby team will be there cheering on the teams and painting up their chest and just creating a really fun atmosphere.
That's great.
And it's kind of created this, you come to our games, we'll go to your games. And I think people will go see rugby, even if you don't know anything about it. You'll come back because it's that fun to watch.
It's fun. For sure. Yeah, it's kind of like football with no pads.
It's the roughest sport I have ever seen.
It is by far. It is rough. Definitely rough. But no, so things like that added down in Rio and a whole lot of other stuff. So we look forward to the future and all the fun things that you guys have going on.
I can't wait to be back on to talk about some of the new programs and new stuff that we have happening, because stand by, there will be more.
That's right. He's full of it. He didn't say that, I did. In the best way possible.
Well, I'm a former politician, right? So people said I was full of it for a long time.
No, not at all. I think you have done a fantastic job, and we appreciate your representation of us, of our communities in many different ways.
Thank you.
So
I appreciate that.
All right. Well, is there anything else you would like to tell our viewers before we let you get out of here for the day?
No, the only thing I would say is if you're interested in the ag program or anything else really around, it's just rio.edu is our website.
Super easy to remember.
Right. That's going to be changing. We're actually getting a new website this summer that I think will be even better than what we have. So I'd encourage people to visit there. The beauty of what we have, unlike a lot of schools, is we've got the public 2-year and the private 4-year, and the community college is such a great value because it's very affordable.
Yes.
And if you fill out the FAFSA form, you may be Pell eligible. It may be a situation where you're not paying anything to go get your education. The government will help pay for it. And too many people don't realize that. So if you have questions, we're happy to walk you through that, talk to you about what that looks like, and help you with the form. So don't let the finances stand in the way.
No, you should never. That should never be an issue.
Right. I say this all the time. Just don't. If you think you can't afford it, you need to talk to us, because we will help find you a pathway.
That's exactly right. And of course, some branches, one here in Jackson and whatever, where you can take classes as well, which is very, very convenient. Especially, I know, working and all of that, you can be a little bit closer. Not that Rio's far away, but from here, but you can still take advantage of those local branches throughout our community as well.
Exactly. The Jackson branch, we've got Meigs, we've got MacArthur, all of which offer opportunities. Actually, we have what we call a summer bridge program going this summer. It's a great program for people that are kind of re-entering school or wanting to get back in. It's really something people should look at if they are a little bit nervous about starting again or just entering in general. It's a great program that offers a lot of incentives to help people get through that starting semester, if you will. So proud of what we do at all our centers. They do a great job. And like you said, it's as close as you can get.
So convenient.
Yeah.
Yep. And don't ever think that you're too old or whatever, because that's okay. Lots of adults headed back to school as well.
Oh, we have a lot of non-traditional students. And, the best thing for me, honestly, is I've done 2 commencements now, because we didn't have one the first year. Mm-hmm. We actually did 2 last year because we had such, we had 20 and 21. But when somebody crosses the stage and you hear that little one yell, "Go mommy" or "Go daddy," you just realize, the difference you're making in somebody's life.
Absolutely.
And that's, half of our students are first generation degree seekers. So even if nobody in your family has a degree, don't let that stop you, because that's exactly who we serve, and we're set up to do that. We put the supports in there for people exactly like that. So, and most of them are under-resourced and getting Pell and it helping them find a way through. So
that's right.
You're exactly right. Non-traditional students are a bigger and bigger part of our population every year.
Love it. Absolutely love it. All right. Well, Ryan Smith, of course, president of Rio Grande, University of Rio Grande and Rio Grande Community College.
There
I
you
got
go.
all that out.
You did.
I had to make sure I got it all proper. All right. Well, thank you so much for spending your morning with us. And anytime that you have anything cool going on, let us know. We'll be happy to have you back here. It's always fun seeing you.
Yeah, can't wait.
All right. Well, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.